Mark and Susan had been dating for a few months. She was spending a lot of time at Mark's house. One day, she finally asked him,
Listen, I've been meaning to ask you, why do you keep a bowl of cat food in the kitchen?
Because my cat might get hungry.
You have a cat? I've never seen a cat here. Is it an outdoor cat?
Susan asked, looking very confused.
Sorry, I thought you knew. No, Charlie is an indoor cat. You're not allergic to cats, are you?
No, but I've been here pretty much every day for the past month. How come I've never seen him?
Maybe you scared him off.
Mark teased.
So, when did you see him last?
Mark thought about the question for a moment. Then he shrugged.
I can't remember. Charlie is just a shy cat. He's hiding around here somewhere.
This neighborhood is not safe. You should have gotten a dog instead.
Mark had always lived alone. His house was quiet, sometimes too quiet. 6 months ago, he decided it was time for a change.
Maybe I should get a pet.
He said to himself. The idea made him smile. He had always liked animals, but he'd never had one of his own. After some thought, he visited the local animal shelter. A kind woman named Ellen greeted him at the front desk.
I'm looking to adopt a cat.
Mark said, feeling a little nervous.
Great. They are independent but still a good company. Follow me, please.
Ellen replied, leading him to a room filled with cats. There were all kinds, big ones, small ones, fluffy ones, and sleek ones. Most of them came right up to the glass of their enclosures, curious about the visitor.
Do you have anything in mind?
Mark shook his head.
Not really. I just want a cat that needs a home.
Ellen smiled.
Well, let me show you one who could really use a friend.
She led Mark to a corner of the room where a small gray cat sat curled up in the back of its cage.
This is Charlie. He's very shy. Charlie has been here for a few months now, and he doesn't like to come out much.
Mark crouched down and looked at the cat. Charlie's big green eyes stared back at him, but the cat didn't move. Something about him made Mark feel a connection.
I'll take him.
He said without hesitation. Ellen was glad to see Charlie getting adopted.
We don't normally do this, but here are some free toys. They were donated to us by a local pet store.
Great, thanks.
They're for dogs, but I'm sure Charlie will like playing with them.
When Mark brought Charlie home, he carefully opened the carrier. Charlie darted out and immediately disappeared under the couch.
Well, that didn't take long.
Mark muttered, kneeling to peek under the couch. Charlie was pressed against the wall, his eyes wide with fear.
It's okay, buddy. This is your home now.
He left Charlie a bowl of food and water near the couch and decided to give him space. Mark started leaving treats around the house to coax him out. Little by little, Charlie began to venture further. One morning, Mark woke up to find him sitting by the window, watching the birds outside.
Well, look at you.
he said, smiling. Charlie glanced at him, but quickly jumped down and hid under the table. Over the next few days, Charlie stayed hidden most of the time. Out of the corner of his eye, Mark would catch glimpses of Charlie darting from one hiding spot to another. Under the bed, behind the curtains, or inside the closet. It was clear Charlie was not ready to trust him yet.
You're like a little shadow.
Mark said one evening as he spotted him sneaking across the room. Weeks turned into months, and slowly Charlie started to warm up to Mark. He would hide out in the same room as Mark, though always at a distance. However, after Susan started coming to the house, Mark would see less and less of his cat. Another month went by, and Susan still hadn't seen Charlie.
Did your cat find a new home?
I fill his food bowl daily, so he must still be here.
Why don't you put a bell around his neck so we can hear him?
I did, but he chewed the collar off.
One Sunday morning, Susan got up early to do laundry while Mark was still asleep. She noticed there wasn't any laundry detergent.
Mark, do we have any laundry detergent?
I'm not sure. Look in the cupboard.
Where?
The cupboard next to the washing machine.
If not, I'll have to run to the store. Oh, good. Here it is. I won't have to go.
Just as Susan opened the cupboard, Charlie jumped out and landed on her head, holding on tightly. Startled, Mark ran out of the bedroom. Charlie dashed out the door and past Mark as he approached the laundry room.
Are you okay? What happened?
He jumped out of the cupboard and ended up on my head.
Charlie?
That's not funny, Mark. I think he scratched my forehead when he jumped off of me.
Hey, let me see. It's just a little scratch.
One day, Ellen from the animal shelter called. She wanted Mark to bring Charlie in for a health check.
I also want to make sure that Charlie is doing well and that you're not having any trouble with him.
No, he's been great. But he's still a little shy, though.
Oh, are you spending any time playing with him?
Well, not really.
He said, scratching his head.
How come?
He's hiding most of the time, and my girlfriend has been coming over a lot.
Ellen didn't seem happy. Mark was worried that she might take Charlie back. A few nights later, Susan was awoken in the middle of the night.
What's that noise? Mark, did you hear that?
That's probably Charlie.
She tried to settle back into sleep, but couldn't shake the uneasiness. A few minutes later, a faint noise came from the back door.
Mark, there's someone downstairs.
I told you, it's just Charlie.
Can Charlie turn the doorknob?
Mark jumped out of bed. Not sure what to do, he paced back and forth in a panic. Then he reached under the bed for a baseball bat.
Stay here. I'll be right back.
Be careful.
Mark tiptoed down the stairs with his baseball bat ready to strike. He poked his head into the hallway at the bottom of the stairs and saw a dark figure of a man standing with a flashlight. Mark took another step, but his foot landed on Charlie's toy. The burglar panicked when he saw Mark. He then reached for something in his back pocket. Mark had to act fast. Without hesitation, he charged at the burglar and swung the bat. The man ducked his head just in time and Mark missed. Mark ended up hitting the tall floor lamp instead. The lamp toppled over, crashing loudly into the bookshelf next to it. That's when the elusive Charlie jumped out of his hiding spot, spooked and confused by the commotion. Spotting the burglar's head conveniently close to the bookshelf, and with the floor too far below, Charlie chose it as a temporary perch clinging there, with a mix of confusion and feline instinct. The burglar let out a scream of pain and staggered back toward the kitchen, flailing as he tried to regain his balance. Charlie clung to his head, ready to leap to the floor, but the man's erratic movements made it impossible. Blindly groping for the back door, the burglar finally stumbled outside, only to trip and fall onto the ground. With the chaos momentarily paused, Charlie seized the chance to jump free and darted back inside, disappearing into another hiding spot. Mark could hear the man scream all the way down the street. Susan stood by the bedroom door the whole time and called the police when she heard the commotion.
Your cat fought off the burglar?
The policeman asked in amazement.
Yeah, Charlie scratched him up pretty badly.
Wait till my partner hears this.
After the police left, Mark had the back door fixed and the alarm system installed. Susan helped clean up the mess. He didn't forget about Charlie, though. A special plate of assorted cat treats was left out for him in the kitchen.
Good boy, Charlie.
Although Charlie may or may not have realized his heroic actions, he sure enjoyed his delectable reward.
Question 1. Why did Mark decide to get a cat? A. He had many cats before. B. Susan wanted a cat. C. The house was too quiet. Question 2. Out of all the cats at the shelter, why did Mark pick Charlie? A. Because Charlie was cute and fluffy. B. He felt a connection with Charlie. C. Charlie is independent but still a good company. Question 3. When did Susan first see Charlie? A. When she was looking for detergent. B. When he jumped on the burglar's head. C. When the police came. Question 4. What was Charlie's reward? A. Dog toys. B. Cat toys. C. Assorted cat treats. Question 5. What did Charlie do when Mark first brought him home? A. He sat by the window to watch birds. B. He ran and hid under the couch. C. He scratched the couch.
Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.